Hello, it's me. Um, Here is a crappy little video or bit of editing. Oh, cheeky. I don't know what I'm doing, but I wanted to make a silly little video just showing you my Tetra Pak carving process. Sorry, this is the first time I've ever tried really doing something like this. I've done it all on my phone. I have no idea what I'm doing. But a lot of my art practice is about doing things straight away because I'm impatient and I don't really like practicing. I don't really like sketching when I paint. And I can't be bothered, quite frankly, to master the art of editing before I start putting content out, because if I did that, I would never get anything done. Anyway, you start with a Tetra Pak carton, you cut it up into the size you want, you transfer an image onto it using tracing paper. You then use an etching needle or a sharp object like a compass to carve into the Tetra Pak, where you create the ridges and marks. The ink that I'm putting on now is going to settle into those ridges and be resisted by the silver foil. If you want an area to be completely black, you completely remove the silver foil and expose the cardboard underneath. I often do that with my pieces. I haven't with this, but here we are. I'm just using a little bit of cardboard to really work that ink into all the little marks that I scratched into the Tetra Pak. Just really giving it a good scrape. I have not managed to work out how to not get incredibly messy doing this, so if anyone has any pointers, please tell me. And then you wipe off the excess. And this is what it should look like. So all the black ink has collected in the marks I've created. This paper that I'm using is just watercolour paper. It's quite weighty, and you want it to be quite thick watercolour style paper because it needs to be wet. So I actually soak my paper for about 15 minutes, and then I gently wrap it in a towel, or drape a towel over it, should I say, whilst I'm inking up, so it's moist. And then this is my pasta maker. So you want to pad your paper and your stencil printing plate. You want to pad them out so that the roller in the printing press can really grab it and squeeze it as much as possible, and you're just going to run that through the pasta maker like a little piece of lasagna. There we go. And this is what it looks like. Ta-da! I really like this process because it is quite raw and messy and imperfect, and that's what I really like to capture in my art. I like the wabi-sabi kind of philosophy of beauty in the imperfections, so I very rarely try to make my artwork look clean. Obviously sometimes mistakes can look a little too much like a mistake, but as much as I can, I embrace the flaws and imperfections and smudges and make them part of the work. So this process really feeds into that love of mine of chaos. Yeah, so here I am doing the second one. I don't know how many prints you can get out of one printing plate. Obviously they are cardboard, so they do degrade. I've heard people say you can get 30 to 40, but I suppose it depends on the stencil, and how much foil you've taken off it and how many marks you've made in it. But yeah, I did 3 on this occasion, I think. This is just a very little practice for the sake of this video, to be honest, and also just because I hadn't done it for a while and I needed to make sure I still knew what I was doing. Yeah. This setup is so janky. I do apologise. I'm going to invest in a ring light as soon as I have the money for it, and yeah, work something out a bit better. Now this part I really do apologise for. I filmed all of the rest of the video in landscape, and then I filmed this bit in portrait, and so to keep it in landscape and looking similar to the rest of the video, I zoomed in to my pasta maker. So this bit's weird and I apologise. But yeah, this is just a close-up of me feeding the prints through the pasta maker. And here we go. Ooh. This is just cheap craft foam from Wilko's, but I know a lot of people use felt, which I think works better actually. And a bit of tracing paper just to stop any transfer. And here we are. Oh, point it to the camera, Jess. There we go. Look at that, cute. And that's how you print with Tetra Pak.